Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome back to Passionate World Talk Radio Network. Educate, enlighten, entertain. Global Media Network, LLC, is the parent company of Passionate World Talk Radio. I'm your host, Lillian Cauldwell, and today we are going to talk about the world organization called the WEF, short for the World Economic Forum. So what does that do? Well, recently it has published a list of items that you need to be aware of, especially in today's digital world. We all know what a digital world is. It's the use of the internet. And we all know how everybody, all the organizations, institutions, businesses, schools, they have all embraced the internet. But there's more to it than just that. And by 2025, every citizen in the United States is expected to get their official national, you guessed it, digital ID to be used when flying in and out of the country, crossing state lines, being able to use it as identification purposes when you buy something with a credit card. So what's the involvement again, you ask, with the WEF? This is the list that they provide that a digital ID should contain: driver's license, certificate of birth, education, passport, an international passport, medical information, diseases, where they were treated, etc., vaccination passports, financial services / money, CBDC, complete information about your spending, allowable CO2 emissions quota and its balance, travel data, where and what you went / fly / sailed on, and that includes rowboats and sailboats, travel data, diet and its compliance with the WEF. An interesting thought: what you're eating, what you're not eating, good food, fast food, foreign food, insects, plants. That's your diet, depending on where you live in the world. Waste of energy resources: oil, gas, plastic, which is part of the oil and gas empire, diesel, kerosene, fossil fuels, that includes coal, code, the key to entry / exit to smart cities, 15-minute areas. And you're thinking to yourself, really? Well, let me tell you about my little adventure down at the motor vehicles place. Although I understand you can also go to the AAA. When I went to go to get my natural ID, these are the things you need to bring with you. They do have a list. So if you're not sure whether you have everything that's on their list, call them up and find out. And they will hand you a piece of paper with about 25 different items that you need to be aware of. Number one, birth certificate. Gotta have that. Not a copy, the original. Or if it is a copy, you have to have it notarized to say that it's the real McCoy, and you haven't forged it or borrowed it from somebody. Yes? Number two, your social security card. If you don't have one, get it. Go to your social security office and ask for it. Call them up, but you won't get very far. Why? Because you need to provide them with 3 additional certifications saying and stating where you live. So you can bring a passport. I brought my motor vehicle registration because it has your name and address on it. The older Medicare cards also have your social security number on it, plus your address. You need all of this for identification. And you can now pay with a credit card in addition to a money order or by check. It cost me $69.95. So make sure you bring some form of payment with you, whether it's a money order, and yes, you're going to have to spend money to buy the money order from the U.S. Post Office, a check, and they'll take personal checks, and you can use a credit card. But you should spend some time assembling the information that you're going to need. If you're recently divorced, you need to bring your recently divorced papers. If you recently lost your spouse, you have to bring a death certificate with you. And this is because many people, when they get married, they take their husband's or their spouse's name. And if you reverted back to your maiden name, they want proof that you can legally do that. So make sure you put at least 20 to 25 minutes on your calendar to spend time at either the AAA or your motor vehicles to get your national ID. You're going to ask why it costs so much, because your national ID is a new driver's license card. So you're paying $30 for replacing your almost new driver's license card, plus you're paying $30 to pay for the national ID. And what you receive is a new driver's license with your ID on it. So be forewarned. Other things that one should be aware of about information by the EF is that all the governments have decided that going global digital identity is to enhance their citizen services. Number one, digital IDs for citizens. Governments recognize the importance of providing secure yet convenient digital identities for citizens. These digital IDs streamline interactions with public services. For instance, and they give an example. You can look this up on Google, very easy. Just put digital citizenship, and this is what will come up as an example. In France, it's called the France Connect system, allows citizens like Naomi to access various public services using one login. She can file her income tax return, check healthcare reimbursements, and even sign up for local electoral lists seamlessly. Now, this is in France. I don't know how advanced the United States government is yet, or what it's like in England or Spain or Portugal. You would have to contact the individual country on Google and find out. What's the goal? The purpose? The goal is to ensure that citizens can easily, securely, and legitimately access government services. Number two, challenges and approaches. Creating a successful digital citizen IDs involves focusing on three key aspects. Governance. Government CIOs must decide between managing the entire identification process in-house or leveraging third-party digital identity service providers like the IDSP, in case you're interested. Government CIOs must decide between managing the entire identification process in-house or leveraging third-party digital identity service providers. The latter option is often preferable, allowing agencies to focus on core services while reducing the complexity of multiple logins for citizens. By 2023, last year, at least 80% of government services required authentication are expected to support access through multiple digital ID providers. Technology. Implementing robust and secure technology solutions is crucial. User experience. Ensuring a seamless and user-friendly experience for citizens interacting with government services. And then outsourcing digital identity provisioning. Governments can choose from various options. Government-issued digital IDs. These are directly managed by government agencies. Governments can then choose the second, commercial IDSP. Third-party providers offer digital identity services, and then they can combine both approach. Examples include systems like France Connect, which combines both government and commercial IDs. Each option has its pros and cons, and privacy concerns arise when commercial IDSPs gain insight into citizens' identities. So in summary, the move towards digitalizing citizen profiles aims to enhance efficiency, accessibility, and security in public services. However, the government must strike the right balance between convenience and privacy, which always remains a critical challenge for governments worldwide. Now, I got my information from the WEF, and you can find it online, worldeconomicforum.com, and by asking Bing AI and Google, and it'll be more than happy to provide you with the resources to do a little bit of investigation. The question I want to ask the audience is, how do you feel about something like this? And number two, what happens if the grid, meaning the electrical grid, goes down because somebody cut it off, somebody turned it off, or somebody bombed us, and then you no longer have access to a digital structure? What will your government do? And that's what I'm going to ask you, the audience. What will you do if the digital structure is destroyed? Please text me at 484-364-1032. Email me, pwrnetworkllc@gmail.com, or go to our website, passionateworldtalkradio.com, and leave your comment on the comment form that is provided at the website. Please leave your name, your email, a phone number for text, and that with your answer should be just fine. Thank you for joining us today. You can hear and see this program all over again on youtube.com/PWR Network _PW Talk Radio, on our website, passionateworldtalkradio.com, and also on facebook.com/Passionate World Radio, and all the major social media and podcast directories. Next week, unless we forget historical, we will be talking about how Texas wants to secede from the Union and how this will affect Texas, our union, but most importantly, immigration. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. And remember, please keep listening. Thank you.